Welcome back to Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. We've just had a fight that I guess we lost. I don't know if we really ever had a chance of winning. But the person we came to save, Dillion, he spoke to us. And maybe his spirit or his specter, some memory of him, who knows what it is. He spoke out to us, and so let's see if we can get any kind of semblance of understanding of what exactly is going on and what we need to do next.
There it is. Your Majesty. It's Dillion. He's gone and you were so slow. How could you? Keep going. How could you? Keep going. Ignore the pain. I told you it was to trick you. We told you. Where are you going? See, there's nothing to follow. Come on.
Before she first met him, she was not in a good place. Just a teenager, but not like the others. Barely functioning, she rarely left the house. Her father's in-bell made sure of that. Only occasionally did she venture out on her own, collecting firewood and herbs. Errands out in the Orkney Plains. That was her world. Like this one. Barren and lonely.
So really, we were a shut-in because, you know, there was really no way for people to help those with mental health issues at this point in history. And so I guess it kind of makes sense that the only response for a lot of people would just be to shut away.
It's already disappeared. Nothing lives here, not even you. It's in your mind. You think you can see it, but it's in your mind.
There he was. The lone figure of a boy. Sword play under the shade of a tree. She remembers the first time she saw him. To her young eyes, he moved as if dancing. And the world danced with him. The gloom lifted. And for the first time in years, she felt a ray of hope.
The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day, Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to whomever can release it. Many try, but the sword only comes out at Sigmund's touch. His brother-in-law, King Siggeir, wants it, but Sigmund refuses him, so King Siggeir plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast, but when they arrive, they are met with an army, not a warm welcome. King Siggeir captures Sigmund and his brothers, steals his coveted sword, and readies them for execution.
Oh, you can't just end the story there. Okay. Yeah, Sigmund, I know he is the hero of the Ring cycle. One of the more famous opera cycles. I know Wagner put it together. The Ring of the Nibelung, and Sigmund is the hero of that story. Well, now I really want to hear what happens next. So I'm willing to search a little bit to see if we can uncover something. Or uncover another obelisk to keep telling us the story. So this is where those lost at sea wash up on shore, I'm guessing? Because we have all the longboats here. Yeah, here's one.
Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a servant with honey to smear on Sigmund's face. But to what end? Well, that night, when the she-wolf appears again, you'll never guess what happens.
Oh. Talk about a cliffhanger. I think I can guess. Well, my guess is that, basically she just licks it off and doesn't attack. Is this one on the other side here? I'm trying to tell. We may have to circle back around. And I want to say there was at least one other spot that we might have missed on the way here. Let's see if we can get inside this boat. Can we climb through here? Not quite. Alright, there's this flag. I'm sure that means something.
Day after day, watching from afar, she mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance, wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
As the she-wolf licks the sweet honey from Sigmund's face, he bites the wolf's tongue. The she-wolf pulls away, but Sigmund holds on. The chains break, and he is free. After his escape, Sigmund lives like us, hidden in the forest. His enemy, King Siggeir, believing him dead, as his sister plots revenge. And for vengeance to succeed, even the great Sigmund needs help. So she sends her sons to him. But their blood is weak and corrupted, and they're put to death by Sigmund. So his sister hatches a new plan, one that is cold of heart and pure of blood.
Sigmund, as much as he's called a hero, starting to think maybe he's not a very good guy.
No, it's a trick. It's an illusion. It's not real. Do you really think it's real? You want to believe it's a trick.
Alright, hang on one second. So, there was this locked gate over here
What is she following? Can't be
that we never ended up opening. So I just want to go back real quick and take a look, because I'm afraid we might have missed something on the side. So all of these tales, I guess, were told to her by Druth, which kind of leads me to wonder, Did the tribe that she was a part of just not have any gods before? Did, I don't know, maybe they only had like simple spirit gods or something like that, and they didn't have the full Norse mythology history that Druth seems to be talking about? Because they never really reference their own gods, but a lot of these stories and gods, it almost seems like she's hearing them for the first time. But maybe it's because she was, I don't think there's a way to get up there, but there is one of these. Maybe she was just shut away for so long that she never had the chance to experience... oh, here we go. We'll come back. Chance to experience the mythology for herself. So let's check at this up here. Oh, one of these. I don't think we're going to be able to get through until we have some closure with that shipwreck, or with the sorry, with our our shipwreck of a dead boyfriend. Yeah, no, not really. All right, here we go.
Sigmund's sister trades shapes with a sorceress, and in disguise, she lies with her own brother. She gives birth to a son named Sinfjotli. After a time, she sends him to the forest to Sigmund. He tests the boy and finds him strong and fearless, and so they go to take their vengeance on King Siggeir. But luck is not on their side. They're captured, and Siggeir has them buried alive.
Oh, the cliffhanger again. He sure knows how to keep you wanting more. It's interesting how so many of the Norse myths end up being tragedies. Oh, I guess we could have gotten down there, huh? But, it almost never seems to end well for anybody. Like, even especially the gods. Like, you would expect that the gods of Asgard, maybe they're gonna, you know, have something similar to other religions where you come to a place of goodness and light and everybody lives out their days in peace and harmony. But even the gods are going to experience Ragnarok. Most of them are going to die in combat. I think Thor gets eaten by the world serpent, who's like the giant snake that circles the entire world. And various other gods meet similar unfortunate ends, I guess you could say. I do think that there is some sort of, like, world rebirth that occurs after Ragnarok, but I can't recall what it is off the top of my head. Oh. Wow. That's beautiful. Is this where we grew up?
How does he so effortlessly court the world and bliss? If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew and dance with it, just like he does.
Wow, if this is where we grew up. I think they said, like, the Orkney Isles, right? This is really incredible.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't leave home much.
Oh, Zeno's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait. Who taught you to fight like that?
No one.
You did.
No one.
Well, I watched you, and
You learnt all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
Me?
I'm Dillian. I'm here for the warrior trials. Just come and watch. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment when you look into the eyes of the one who is supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are.
You killed him.
But her world changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Senua knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all.
Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy you.
They won't stop me. I can still feel him.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here.
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone.
You will die here.
No.
And all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Shut up! Dillian? Is that you? I'll find you, my love. I promise.
Can I just say that her performance is just outstanding. Like, as I mentioned earlier, she won Best Performance for 2017 for video game, and it's absolutely
You want to believe it. Is he there?
understandable why.
You're alone in these mountains. Is that Dillian? Nothing lives here. You won't survive.
Is that anything? Nope. Okay.
He's waiting for you by the tree.
So essentially, he was one of the ones that really befriended us for the first time, right? We were alone before. People probably didn't want to have anything to do with us, right? Because we were they didn't understand mental health at the time. And so he was one of the few people that was kind to us and helped us become the warrior we are today, which is really cool.
As Sigmund and Sinfjotli are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave mound. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the grave mound and set fire to Siggeir's hall. The king burns to death. Sigmund calls to his sister to come out so that she may live and be honored. She does come out, but only to tell him the truth. That she had slept with him, her brother, to beget a strong avenger. I am not fit to live, she says, and walks back into the fire. Strike vengeance from your heart, Senua, as there is always a heavy price to pay.
Oh my gosh. Norse myths are something else. Sleeping with your brother, you know, completely normal. Not concerning at all. Oh, and there's the last one. All right, we're still going to be on track for keeping up with all of these, which I'm excited about. Like, I would absolutely go out of my way to find these and hear what the storyteller has to say. And so we've gotten them all so far, and I really want to keep that streak up.
And here is the end of Sigmund's story. He was a fierce and great warrior who fought many battles. But one day, an old man came onto the battlefield, Although shadowed by a hood, Sigmund saw that he only had one eye. The man raised his spear, and Sigmund struck at it with his sword, but the sword shattered into pieces. Sigmund then knew that this was Odin, and thus that victory could not be his. He bowed his head and accepted his end. Dying, he tells his wife that she is with child, and that her son will one day make a great weapon out of the fragments of his sword. The sword named Gram.
Huh. Is there any chance whatsoever that this is the sword that we have? Or that similarly we're gonna reforge our sword? Also, question, why did Odin want to kill him? I feel like that was an important part of the story that was left out. If he was, you know, so highly revered or thought of by Odin that he gave him a sword, was he jealous of him? Is there... There's something else there that I don't quite understand about why Odin would not want to help him. Okay, before we go into the tree, I feel like there's something up with these stones. I feel like this is the fourth one, maybe, that we've come across. When I go up to it, yeah, still nothing's happened when I focus on it. So maybe we need to do something in the tree to activate it first. So this is what presumably the Northmen did to her village. And it's also kind of reminiscent of Odin hanging himself from the world tree, but I guess we'll see.
Take it. A sword.
Oh.
Dillion left it for you. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. It's a trick. It's a trick. It's ending. It's coming from there and there. Oh, what are they? Look, where's it coming from? She started something. Oh,
What's happening?
Senua, imagine a sword that can slay gods. Its name is Gram. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said a great warrior can reforge Gram by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard. The roots of the Tree of Death will take you to new lands where you will face the trials.
go to the shards. Go to the shard. Go to the shards. What's the shard? Find it.
It's the metal runestone.
The Trials of Odin. Okay, so that was the reason why we heard about Sigmund, is that is the sword that Sigmund used to own.
Go to the shard.
I wonder if the trials are going to be phonics-based, because the sword is named Grammar. That was bad. Alright, here we go. Let's see what we need to do.
There it is.
Oh, it's like actually a massive sword. Look at that. That's like the edges, and that's the middle.
Can you see? Go to it.
That's wild. I hope it gets shrink down a little bit. Shrunk.
Go. Come on.
Sorry, I can't speak well until I have grammar.
A king in the north forced the dwarves to make a sword that would never fail and never rust, and that would slice through iron and stone and bring victory to its bearer. But the angry dwarves cursed it. It would be the death of a man every time it was drawn, and it would be the death of the king. Let me tell you about the sword Tyrving.
I don't recognize this place. Where are we? is she?
It feels wrong. Where are we now? Burial mound. So strange that we go to such lengths to bury death. Something so very ordinary, inevitable. It's as if we conspire to hide death, because we have no answer for it. But when it comes, and forces itself onto our friends or loved ones, then comes the reckoning.
Wow. How is that for a screenshot? I'm just going to pause here so I can screenshot it later. That's just incredible.
Why would he do something so dangerous?
This whole game is like pure eye candy. Like, imagine the best candy in the world. One for each eye socket. Alright, so we've got 4 runes we've got to find here.
Senua, you remind me of a story that the Northmen tell about a young woman warrior. Her name is Hervor, the daughter of a berserker, born after he was killed. She's a wild, willful child who teaches herself to fight with weapons. When she learns where her father is buried, her only desire is to reclaim the treasure buried with him, but above all, the sword, Tyrving.
Yeah, very similar to us, I would say. I guess that makes sense why it's the first trial. So what is that a representation of right there? I guess it's pretty similar to the raven that we fought, the Valravan, the illusory god. It kind of looks like him. Is that what that's supposed to represent, or is that something totally different? Maybe like a dragon? We haven't really seen or heard much, if anything, about dragons, but I know they're also a big part of Norse mythology, so we'll see. Oh man, there's another great shot. My question is the sword just going to magically reform after we collect all the shards? Because I don't know if we have any blacksmithing skills, much less equipment.
Don't go in there. Go in. You have to go in. Take the torch. It's too dark. Take it. This will help you. Careful. You have to be able to see.
Who's there? Dillian, I'm here. I'm here for the trials. Like when we first met, remember?
I wonder, can we light this? Yeah, we sure can. Okay, that's helpful. We should look for more of those, if possible. So as a matter of fact, I wonder if there's something in this main, I guess, antechamber here. It looked like there were a number of doors or directions that we could go off in. That's where we came from. So we won't go over there. There's another one over here.
I'll find him.
We'll light this one. And that way we'll kind of have like a visual representation.
Did you hear that? Nothing. Was that voices? Is that his voice or the voice of the dead? Not Dillian. Dillian's calling to you.
Right, there's one there.
Where is he?
There's one there. So there's
Further away.
two chambers. Okay.
Are you lost, and have you lost him? Where are you? Turn left. Turn right. Over this way. What was that?
We'll go this direction first.
This way. Nothing. There he is. There he is. Dillian, there he is. Finally.
You found him. What's wrong? What happened? Can you hear me?
How did you let him go again?
Just wait there. I'll find you.
Okay. So that's where we're going to need to end up on this side. We'll probably have to unbar the door from the other side.
Get him back. He was just there. How could you lose him? How could you lose him? How could you find him?
Yeah, I understand, ladies. Thank you. So we're going to have to take the long way around, it seems. We've got to go through here. And, go, I guess this is a labyrinth of some kind. I wonder if there's a better way to go. Well, I think what we'll do here is we'll just take a quick break. And then when we come back, we are going to explore the maze. And yeah, this is certainly unnerving, and I'm sure it's only going to get more intense from here. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed The Legend of Sigmund. I'm glad we could finish that out. It's a really interesting story, and hopefully we can get his sword here before too long. Thanks so much, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye.